Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, and with the Phase 4 Marvel announcement shattering the multiverse and San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend, I thought I'd take a look to the future and see what films we have to look forward to from 2022 onwards. Kevin Feige recently revealed to Empire magazine that the studio already has all of Phase 5 mapped out, and there were enough dropped hints during the Phase 4 announcement that we have a pretty good idea of what's to come. Throughout this video, I'll be breaking down every confirmed film for Phase 5 and discussing all of the information that we know so far about the upcoming slate. There will be heavy spoilers here, so if you aren't fully up to speed with Marvel yet and don't want anything potentially ruined about the future films, then I highly suggest that you turn off now. With that out of the way, I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking this video. Now let's get into my breakdown of the MCU Phase 5. Okay, so the first film of Phase 5 will in fact be Blade, starring Mahershala Ali. Whilst this was announced as part of the Phase 4 panel, Feige later admitted that the film would in fact take place in Phase 5. This was arguably the biggest reveal of the panel and got a huge round of applause from the audience of Hall H upon its announcement. Whilst the film won't be around until 2022 at the very earliest, I actually believe that we will see Blade appear before then during one of the upcoming Marvel movies. The MCU has a habit of introducing characters long before their solo films, such as Spider-Man and Black Panther, who both made appearances in Captain America Civil War, and I think Blade will probably pop up in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is set to be the first horror film in the franchise. Blade would perfectly fit the occult part of this film, and though he may not be in the main storyline, it would make sense to at least see an appearance by the character in the post-credit scene at the very least. Next up is Black Panther 2, which has been confirmed by the cast and crew to be in production. Ryan Coogler is currently working on the script for the film, so it looks like it's only going to be a matter of time before we get an official announcement. The future film is rumoured to have an appearance by Michael B. Jordan, who will taunt T'Challa on the spiritual plane, and he has been confirmed by several sources to be returning. Rumours are also circulating that we may in fact be getting a release date for Phase 5 at the Disney D23 Expo next month, so make sure you stay locked to the channel for more news on that as we get it. After that is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now this film has had a bit of a troubled production, with James Gunn being fired from the project after some old tweets resurfaced. No one was really willing to step in and take over the project, and after numerous protests from the cast and online petitions, Gunn was hired back to film the movie. Unfortunately, Gunn now had other commitments, mainly over at DC, which is where he's working on the upcoming film The Suicide Squad. This movie was originally slated to be released before Thor 4, however due to all of the aforementioned problems, it's now scheduled to release a lot later and will probably begin filming in 2021. Marvel confirmed today that the film will be set after the events of Thor Love and Thunder, and thus some editing to the initial script will be required, as it was originally meant to take place off the back of Avengers Endgame. Guardians is obviously a huge property, and it could seal Phase 5 as one of the best in the studio's history if it manages to tick all of the boxes. The film itself is supposedly set around the crew searching for Gamora, who was lost at the end of Avengers Endgame, though Kevin Feige has confirmed that she is still alive, and apparently the film will also centre around Rocket uncovering the fact that his creator is the High Evolutionary and being introduced to Lyla. Adam Warlock is too set to make an appearance, and he will have matured in the 5 years in his pod that was seen at the end of Guardians 2, so this could provide the MCU with another huge character. After that is Captain Marvel 2, which is a film that we don't really know all that much about. As Captain Marvel only debuted this year, you can probably imagine that this will be much later in the slate than the other entries. It's still unclear whether the time setting of Captain Marvel 2 will follow on from the first film, and if it will chronicle Carol Danvers finding a new home for the Skrulls and then taking on the Kree, but there have been sources close to the project that have said that the film will be an adaptation of Secret Wars and will have Danvers at the helm. This would make more sense, and it could slowly sow the seeds for Secret Invasion down the line, which will obviously be a huge thing for the MCU. Following on from this is the as of now untitled Spider-Man 3 film, which will reportedly pick up immediately after the events of Spider-Man Far From Home, with the titular character on the run after his identity was exposed by J. Jonah Jameson and Mysterio. Director John Watts and star Tom Holland have both championed Kraven the Hunter to become the next film, and Marvel artist Boss Logic also recently posted that he had heard Kraven's origin story would tie directly into Wakanda, with the Hunter being a member of a long exiled tribe. It was originally reported that Sony would take back the rights to the character if Far From Home failed to gross $1 billion at the box office. However, the movie has now surpassed this estimation, and therefore it's well on its way to getting made. Marvel have also been heavily implying that the Sinister Six will make an appearance, so this could definitely be the springboard for the characters to be introduced. The Fantastic Four is also another big film that was paid lip service to in the Phase 4 panel, and it's one of the major properties that Disney recently acquired in their Fox acquisition that definitely holds a lot of potential for the future. At Comic-Con, Kevin Feige made it loud and clear that Marvel's first family will play a big part in the future of the franchise, and this Phase 5 movie is reportedly due to begin production in 2022, though no cast or director have been named yet. The Fantastic Four holds the potential to introduce a whole host of new characters to the MCU, such as the Silver Surfer, Galactus, and of course Doctor Doom, who many believe will replace Thanos as the big bad of the MCU for the foreseeable future. I'm just gonna say it right now, if we don't get John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, then we riot, and I'm obviously very hyped to see this franchise done right. Up next is the other big Fox acquisition property, which is the X-Men. Though Feige didn't out and out name them, he did say that there would be mutants joining the MCU, though very little plans are in place right now that we can go off beyond pure speculation and rumour. I believe that the snap may have led to the existence of mutants, and this will be how they are brought into the universe. With no mention of a release date for New Mutants now, it looks like that movie is being shelved and Marvel will be wiping the slate clean so that they can focus on getting the X-Men off to a fresh start, which in my opinion is much needed because, yeah, Dark Phoenix sucked. After this we could potentially get the New Avengers. Kevin Feige in an interview over the weekend said that the next team up we can expect will be unlike anything that we've seen before, so it's a safe bet to assume that this will be made up predominantly of new characters. The rumoured lineup is Falcon, who has become the new Captain America, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange and Black Panther, though we will see when this comes to fruition in the future. And finally is the Dark Avengers. Though there have been no real mention of these characters so far in the MCU, comicbook.com recently reported that the Black Widow solo movie was set to introduce and lay the groundworks for the film. Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh, is set to become a dark version of Widow, similar to her comic book counterpart, and David Harbour has been confirmed to be playing Red Guardian, who is a Russian version of Captain America that could easily fit into the team. The Abomination too has been rumoured to be returning since his appearance in the first Incredible Hulk film, and those who've watched the Marvel one-shot called The Consultant will know that Abomination was initially being eyed by S.H.I.E.L.D. to take the Hulk's place due to Banner being on the run. Shang-Chi will introduce high-level magic to the MCU, and with Doctor Strange 2 delving into the multiverse, there could be several dark versions of the character pulled together, such as an evil Thor. Thor himself could become a twisted version of this, and this might be why Jane Foster needs to take up his mantle, and overall, there's a lot of potential for this series. In the end, I actually think that Phase 5 has the potential to be even better than Phase 4, and there's so many things that were omitted from the lineup last weekend that, if put in place here, will make the biggest MCU slate ever. Now, one thing I've been wondering that I've not really seen any Marvel executives tackle is, will we eventually get a complete reboot of the universe? Whilst it's massively successful, the more films that get added to the franchise, the more it could alienate new viewers. I mean, think about it. Let's say you're just a kid now, you want to go see some amazing superhero movies. You want to go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for some strange reason. Turns out though, you need to go back and watch another 25 films or something. I mean, are new fans going to really want to go back and do that? Let's say we get to Phase 6 and there's about 40 films in the MCU. Are new fans really going to have the time to go back and watch all of the older movies just to get up to speed? I really don't know how Marvel's going to handle it, but I do think in the future they might start doing slightly disconnected films that you can go into without any prior knowledge, just to make them more audience friendly. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that and this lineup in general, and if there's anything you think will be coming up in the movies I've mentioned or the slate itself, then make sure you comment below and let me know. We've also just dropped a full breakdown of everything you need to know about the Phase 4 lineup, so make sure you check that breakdown out after this. It covers all of the Comic-Con panel, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more, and I'll leave that linked at the end and hopefully see you over there after this. If you want to come talk to me directly or just want to see my general thoughts on movies, TV shows and games, then make sure you follow me on Twitter at DefinitionYT. I also just want to let you know that we're giving away a free copy of Avengers Endgame on Blu-ray to one lucky winner, and all you have to do is like this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on Phase 5 in the comment section below. The winner will be chosen at random on August the 10th and the Blu-ray will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize. The best of luck to everyone who takes part. This is a channel for people who are super into superheroes, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.